Hello everyone, are you ready for another adventure? It's me, Wokey, and I'm back with another Fake Grand Order video at a very weird time because I was working crazy busy yesterday, and during work yesterday, I realized that, oh wait, Kama should be releasing really soon, and I said I would talk about it. So that's what today's video is gonna be. If you plan to summon on it, feel free to tell me if you do, and if you've already started summoning on it, then you can tell me in the comments down below how it went. I'm going to assume a decent amount of people are going to try for it if they didn't already get her the first time around. So yeah, this is the Paper Moon Summoning Campaign 2, coming up pretty soon. It should be already out by the time you hear this, depending on when it is. It's like, by the time this gets uploaded, it might just be like an hour or two before day roll or something. But anyway, this is what it's going to look like. It has Kama, Longling Wong, Gilles de Reyes Saber, and Gilles de Reyes Caster, along with the craft essences that are new but not on rate up. They're just like, hey, check it out, we added these. We don't want you to actually get them though, so they're just on here. In terms of the 3 stars, there's unless you're going for the brand new grand system that they got going on, there's almost no reason that you would want to pull specifically just for Gilles de Reyes Saber. I will say that for Gilles de Reyes Caster, though, he is story locked, so it's kind of a pain in the ass to get more copies of him, but it ends up being okay because both of those units, he's not one of the good ones. He's more one of the ones that are on the bad side for the most part. Still cool to have, just because when certain foreigners release, he gets new voice lines, so they do update him from time to time, but yeah, for the most part, they need like a new Gilles de Reyes if you're looking for a good one. The buffs that they would need to make them good would probably be a large, substantial amount. They'd just be easier to just release a new Gilles de Reyes. The 4-star on the banner is Longling Wong. He is a Saber. He has 1 quick, 2 arts, 2 buster, 3 hits on quick, 3 hits on arts, 2 hits on buster, and 5 hits on extra. His first skill is the Beauty Concealing Mask A, grants self-invincibility for 2 attacks 3 turns. Increases party's attack for 3 turns, 20% to attack, on a cooldown of 6. His second skill, after a strengthening, is the Vigorous Like the Breaking Bamboo Sea. It's not out yet for us, so this is the way it's going to be for a while. Charges 1 ally's NP gauge, increase their buff success rate for 1 turn, 20% of the MP charge, and 40% of the buff success rate. The strengthening gives it so that it's 10% more MP charge. It is 3 turns for the party's buff success rate. And the crit stars gained is 20. So a big improvement, because this only increases one person's buff success rate. This increases the party's for 3 turns, and that's important because on his third skill is the Demonic Face EX, increases the party's arts performance for 3 turns, 60% to chance to increase the party's critical star generation for 3 turns, and a 60% chance to increase the party's critical damage for 3 turns. 20% to arts, 50% to the star rate, and to the crit damage it's 50% on a cooldown of 5. His passive skills are Magic Resistance C, Riding A, and you'll see this is the special Bond level 15 thing that has just been added. We ain't getting that for like 2 years, so don't worry about it. It is cool though. Third skill is an anti-assassin attack damage aptitude, and his Noble Phantasm is Gallant is the masked one. Prince Ling has both voice and visage. Prince Ling in battle. It is a Arts Noble Phantasm. It is rank C+. It is anti-army encampment. It reduces all enemies' MP gauge by 1. Reduces their critical attack chance by 20% for 3 turns. Reduces party's damage for 3 turns. On at MP level 1, damage taken is 500, and if you go all the way to MP level 5, it's 1,500. The minus effect. And then it also increases party's attack based off of the overcharge effect. It's 30% to charge level 1, and to get it all the way to the final charge level, it's 50%. And he also comes with a summer outfit, which is really nice. It's a very nice summer outfit for sure. And that's Prince Longling Wong. How is he as a unit? Bad until this skill happens, because his entire buffing is predicated on a buff chance, which is pretty bad. You can increase the buff chance only for 1 person, so for the most part, I guess you would, kind of want. It's weird because he's definitely a support unit, but he's a support unit that seems to be a support unit that you want to support exactly 1 person, and give a chance to give it to everyone though. I don't know. It's very weirdly designed. I guess they do eventually fix it and make it a bit better. But even without that, he ends up being, I think, a stall unit of some kind. It's definitely one where if you plan to have a long fight and you want to have it last as long as possible, you would bring him in with a bunch of other art support units such as Castoria and or Lady Avalon, because she actually has a lot of ways to generate crit stuff, which is nice to go with him. But yeah, for the most part, I don't know. I'll say this much: it's not really a unit that I would prefer to use. I feel like this is definitely more for the people who kind of like the stall type gameplay, which is more about like not killing super fast, but actually delaying the inevitable and making it so they can basically do nothing to you as you slowly whittle them down. It's a very different type of playstyle. It's not really mine. I'm not gonna default you if that's one of your favorite ways to play. If that's your favorite ways to play, then feel free to tell me how you think about this guy. But for me, I think for the most part, he's kind of like bad, and then once he gets that buff, he becomes better, but not to the point where you would probably want to use him for, unless it was for a very specific challenge quest. I would assume for just very specific challenge quests where you need a saber, he's excellent for that. But anything else than that, like, not really much for farming. I guess you could do it through story stuff, just because story stuff has a lot of high damaging dudes, and it's kind of nice to have someone like this. But yeah, like I said, not really my kind of unit, so forgive me if I'm not 100% accurate on my assessment on him, but that's the best I got for you as far as he goes. If that sounds like an interesting unit to you, then hopefully you get your copy of him if that's what you're wanting to go for. He isn't limited though, so you can always just randomly get him, which is how I've gotten all my copies of Long Ling Wong over time. And now for the actual reason most people are going to be summoning for on this banner, we have Kama, who is a limited assassin 5-star. She has 2 quicks, an arts, and 2 busters. 4 hits on the quick, 3 hits on the arts, 4 hits on buster, and 5 hits on extra. Her active skills are Blessing of the Goddess B, reduces one ally's max HP by 1000 permanently, demerit, overcharges their NP by 1 stage for 1 time, 3 turns, recovers own HP. 4000 is the heal. This is on a cooldown of 5. Her second skill is the Anaga, the one without body EX. Grants self gut status for 1 time, increases own attack for 3 turns. 2000 HP heal when the guts activates, and the attack up is 30% on a cooldown of 6. Her third skill is the Mara Papayas EX, charges 1 papaya? Yeah, that's not papaya, it's papayas? Something like that. Charges on MP gauge, grants self-attack and defense advantage against alter ego class for 3 turns, deals 2x damage to them, and take 0.5x damage from them. Increases own critical damage by 20% for 3 turns, and then reduces all enemies' charm debuff resistance for 1 turn. 50% MP rate, and the charm resistance is 40% on a cooldown of 6. Her passive skills are Magic Resistance A, Writing A, Independent Manifestation C, Love Goddess Essence B, which gives her a charm debuff immunity, so you can't charm her back. And then her third skill is an anti-lancer attack damage aptitude, because she doesn't like Parvati. And then her Noble Phantasm, for whatever reason, was strengthened, but for right now we have this version of it, so I'm going to read this one first. It's the Kama Samohana. A withering affection is not love. It's a quick Noble Phantasm, rank C, it's anti-unit, it hits 10 times, it deals damage to 1 enemy, has an 80% chance to charm them for 1 turn. The MP damage at level 1 is 1,200, if you get her all the way to MP level 5, it's 2,000. And then her overcharge effect is an increase to own quick performance for 3 turns, 20% to quick, and then if you get her all the way to the final overcharge level, it's 40%. And then finally, her strengthening, if you're interested in what it is, the 80% chance to charm someone activates first. It's not an activate first effect, it actually activates after you hit, because why would that matter in the original form of it? The damage has been increased, making it 1,600, meaning that at MP level 1, she deals the damage of an MP level 2, and at MP level 2, she is dealing a lot more damage. It's 2,000, so this is such an insane fucking buff the more I look at it. Like, the more you, like, go, like, oh yeah, at MP level 2, it's 2,000? What the fuck do you mean it's 2,000? Anyway. 2,000, then if you get it all the way to MP level 5, it's 2,400. And she deals 150% extra damage against charm anyone that is hit by the charm status, and the overcharge effect is not changed. This strengthening has to be like one of the best strengthenings ever released in the game. I think I've talked about before my philosophy on buffs. It seems that the devs seem to agree that whenever a fan favorite is looking to need a buff, they will decide to buff them. Not saying that they deserved it, because Kama is already one of the best single target assassins, and that's still true right now, even on the NA side of the game. It's definitely true on the JP side of the game, but even when they released this buff, I remember people going, wait, why did they buff Kama? Wait, what? Like, usually when someone is good, you try and buff the others to give them just a little bit more of a chance. Like King Hassan, you would give him a little bit more. But there are other single target assassins that have gotten buffs to try and be like, alright, we're going to make them a little bit better, so it makes sense to kind of do it all. But no, for this one, this was like a declaration shot of, no, seriously, if you need a single target assassin, use Kama. And it makes her one of the best assassins in the game. One of the three, for sure, when you think about it. Just because when you think of who's the top assassin, it has to be Koyanskaya. And then from there, it can likely either be Kama or Tez, depending on what your preference is as an AoE arts unit or a single target quick unit. Kind of go from there. Doing two different things completely different and doing them both extremely well, but either way, Kama, that's what she is. If you can't tell by the way I was talking about that Noble Phantasm, Kama's really fucking good. She's insanely good. I can say from my experience using her, since I've gotten her, I have not really needed any other form of anytime there's an assassin, unless it's a multi-fight against a bunch of dudes who are a bunch of riders, I always bring Kama and she always does perfectly fine. Against certain enemies, her ability to charm can just leave them completely stun locked for like 3 turns in a row. Because I've definitely had it, even with Scotty, the 10 hits is pretty big when it comes to helping with NP gain, so it's possible to actually just continuously loop this Noble Phantasm and her over and over and over again, and hit them for 3 turns and have them be charmed for 3 turns. It's really crazy good. Even if they can't be charmed, she's still a really, really good unit, as she is now pre-buff, just because she has the ability to just have advantage over the alter ego class just for when you're already going for a 50% NP charger. And then on top of that, she's also getting more crit damage, and which she's going to be generating a lot of crit stars just because that's the nature of being a quick unit. And she's also giving a charm resistance down, so she can really, really hit whoever she wants with charm down pretty effectively. Her second skill, Guts, it doesn't have a time limit on it. This is just the permanent Guts. If this was stackable, she would be insane. The current way you kind of go with it is that if the Guts does not activate, then it means that when this is active again, you won't be able to keep spamming it out just because you want to get the 30% attack. It's probably better to hold on to it. But I feel that makes it a fair trade-off a lot of the time. And sometimes you can just use it again because you're just like, I don't think I'm going to be activating Guts any single time. But in general, the idea that your Guts just never goes away unless they specifically remove it by killing you or removing it themselves is pretty key. Really nice. This first skill is also kind of really nice just because it can give this to anyone. So if you, for whatever reason, need an overcharge 2 with someone, like let's say for whatever example, you're using a really funky team and that includes Castoria in it, you can give this to Castoria, use it with her Noble Phantasm to make it so that you can use your effect first, and then Castoria on turn 2 will have 2 overcharges to them so that you'll get extra protected with her shields. That's just one example of it. But anything where the overcharge effect can be used for... You can also use it on yourself if you want. But you can use this on anyone, and also it will always heal you. So after you activate your Guts, you can use this again. The demerit does make it pretty bad for you if your plan is to use Kama non-stop, because every single time that you use this ability, you're lowering her max HP by 1,000. But it's usually fine. I've never had it be too much of an issue except for fights that went so insanely long that by the end of it she had like 3,000 HP left. It's usually not the case. It ends up being a pretty nice skill, I think. Again, there's enough demerits to it to where it makes you think, oh yeah, like even though this is a pretty strong move, there are enough demerits on it that it doesn't feel like overwhelmingly the greatest. I think it's aware she's a very well designed unit. She's a very strong unit, and she's definitely a unit worth having. But should you be summoning for her? Well, chances are, if you've seen this video, you've already made up your mind. If you have not made up your mind, thank you very much for watching the video. If you have made up your mind, thank you also for watching the video. I don't know why you came here, other than to hear me talk and say, damn, Kama good. Maybe that makes you happy. I hope it does. But either way, she's a really good unit. If you wanted to summon a little bit before anniversary, I think I would understand. Yeah, I would definitely understand. But if you're someone who's like, I don't know what to do, I really like her, but then I also really like the upcoming anniversary unit and the Lost Belt 6 Summer dudes, especially considering Oberon is also coming with the Lost Belt 6 Summer, and Tez, a lot of good units are going to be coming up pretty soon. We don't have that much time. JP had a lot more time when this banner came out. We have even less time, just because ours is always in the early beginnings of Anime Expo, which this year will be on July 5th. It's the 4th of July weekend for Anime Expo. It's not a lot of time to save. It's not a lot of time. So I would say that if you are still crazy summoning, plan to crazy summon for the upcoming summer and stuff like that, then you should not summon, even if she is a really good unit. If you're someone who spends, there is GSSRs where you can potentially get Kama that way. You can even put her on your Destiny order and be like, I can get Kama this way. I'll probably be adding Kama to my Assassin one if I think about it. I have to think about it deeply where I'm like, I don't know, that MP2 when that buff comes in, kinda nice. Not gonna lie. I was like, I had no idea her NP2 was that kind of fucking crazy. That's an insane, can't get over that buff. But yeah, Kama, I definitely think she is someone who is worth going for. Whether or not you were equipped for it is a different story. And I wish you the best of luck if you decide to go for it. Especially because anyone who summons before anniversary, I believe they deserve more luck than the others. You're specifically making the choice of being like, I know that anniversary is coming up and it could look pretty bad for me, but I don't care. I want to get this unit because I like this unit. And thankfully for everyone, Kama is both a fan favorite character and also an insanely good character. So you literally can't lose with this one. But anyway, that's the end of the video, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. Excuse me if I sound a little bit out of it. I did not get much sleep from work, and I'm probably going to go take a nap pretty soon as I upload this video. But anyway, that's the end. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. I wish you the best of luck, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Till next time, peace out. Bye.